Hello, and welcome to Gunpla Reviews, where it's myself versus my shelf. Over 200 model kits and a growing queue of reviews to do. Today's challenger is the Ninpulse Gundam, Niels Nielsen mobile suit from, still, the original Build Fighters. However, I do believe it was more something that appeared in one of the OVAs, either Battle Log or Island Wars. I think Island Wars. Of course, from the year of our Bandai Lords, 2017. So that definitely confirms it was from Island Wars. As is tradition, let us observe the manual. So, let us observe the model itself. Of course, we do not have the backpack on. It is very large and will get in the way of many things, such as the arms, such as the head. Get a full exorcist rotation there. Arms fully up the side. Very powerful. And then at the elbow, it's double jointed, but it doesn't quite make... Oh wait, nope, there it goes. I didn't push hard enough. Full bend, double joint. Good, ninjas should be flexible. The usual bicep rotation right there. And regular ball jointed hands. Only two hands this time. Very pointy, ready to poke you. Well, that almost fell off into the void. Down here at the waist. Minimal articulation. Front skirts. I did separate these, so they will go this far. Side skirts. And you get your front kick. We get a little back kick, but not really. But that does give us a very hefty leg rotation. Rotation, no. Leg rotation is here, which is also very powerful. Knee bend is what I was trying to say. You get toe bend. The front skirt will move completely. That's unusual. You don't get that very often. It's almost as if the foot was maybe supposed to transform or something. But no. Get you looking less doofy. Surprisingly, there are very few stickers on here. You've got two on your knees. Quit focusing on the background, camera. I hate that you do that. And a couple in the face up here. Got two for these eyes, followed by two more up here, which are completely hidden and end up being quite worthless. I don't know why they're even there when this bulky and does not attach well crest is in the way. Set there. And so, of the few things that it possesses, one of which was on the back skirt, nearly fell off, is this weapon here. Now strangely, the way the manual intends for you to wield it, it's not as a front-ended axe or spear, but rather this is all the tail end of a whip. Right? Does this plug in? This plugs in, it just doesn't want to. Or maybe it's very specific. Is it very specific? It is very specific. You can see it's got a wedge there. So you gotta rotate the board. Now on your runner, this is a straight piece. You bend this to your liking. I gave just a little bit of a curve. You can kind of see it stresses just a little where my ring finger's at. And you are expected to hold it, as we will see when I get to the back of this handle. Like so, like so, like so. You are to wield it like so. Very, very strange, very unusual whip-style weapon to be bottom-heavy. Very, very bottom-heavy. Of course, something that you can observe, perhaps solve on your own time, if you like. And we're going to see if this even fits in there. Is you have on the side here a tab slot. We're going to see as that crest falls into the void. This does not fit in there. It does, but it doesn't. So what if we go the other way with it? As we suffer through allergies. That fits a little better, but not really enough. Alas. But with the arms, we have two posts here. And with these effect parts, you can plug that in and whip these around like so. We're going to reattach this hand down here. Maybe? Yes. And like so, you have one for each hand. Which these pegs are easier to rotate around when the blade is in them. It's staying in the void. You fall in the void, you stay in the void. As was intended, the peg back here for this weird bladed handle goes into the butt. But any kind of anything can make it fall off, including the backpack, which we will cover soon. So as we're having a terrible bout with allergies, we've picked up the pieces that fell into the void. Now let us discuss the backpack. This is indeed a backpack. We will attach it normally up here to this one peg. And we're going to see if we can do that without taking the connection off. Good. And then adjust these how you see fit. And there you go. Makes them completely back heavy. So, fortunately, they did consider giving you a piece. And this here has a 3mm adapter right there. So you could, as I grab a superior action base, not one of those. it does come with one of those in the same green as this, but I have long since used and broken and worn that out. So let's go for the action base and see that that's a terrible plan. I don't know how they expected or thought that you would even consider attaching the entire thing to that. Fortunately, he has the usual 3mm peg in the bottom, so everything is just, well, if I can get it in there. I'm completely missing. There. Peachy, I guess. Alright, that aside, now we're just going to go ahead and peel the backpack off because it's about to fall off anyway. Good grief. Now, the other mode that you get out of this, the reason that I bought such a large thing, is that right there. That giant Fuma windmill shuriken. We will rotate this piece back around and then start setting everything up to be flat. More or less like so. Now each of these connections here, when lined up correctly, they will snap into place to keep them all nice and flat, because they at least acknowledge that people are going to nitpick about this. But now suddenly my stuff doesn't want to line up, so we'll just do the rest. This piece can come out of here for now. Why are these two pieces not cooperating? There it goes. There we go. Once you get most of them in, they all start to fall in line. Now, the thing that this is more so for is taking to one of these and attaching this to an action base for posing. Of course, lastly, but not Bobby Leesley, we'll leave that on there. It really serves no purpose other than being an adapter for this. This here is a beam saber handle, tucked away. This is a beam saber effect part, also included with the model kit. The manual makes no mention of either of these. You have a beam saber, but also we're going to leave the effect part in there. Something that is only mentioned in the manual for the Ninpulse beam effect parts, which I have buried, is up here at the head. This jaw moves down and opens a small tab. And there's a small tab right here. Because for some reason it is depicted that ninjas will carry a scroll in their mouth. I mean, I guess historically maybe that's a thing. But the manual for the Ninpulse beam effect parts suggests that you put your beam effect parts in here, and for some reason that. However, that is still not all. Should we choose to remove this head, just snap that right off the body. Right off. And we'll get these arms kind of down in place. And we'll make sure we get this backpack placed back on there. Start popping these back around. using your... Oh, I was about to say, this is one effect part that fell off, but it just... Well, it fell off. I thought it wasn't there for some reason. With this, you can now align one of your backpack adaptations right here. Focus, thank you. Squeeze that on there. Then kind of work that down. Work that down and around. And your backpack is now a cowl. You'll have to fidget with getting it just right in there. Because I don't recall how well it goes. I'll let it go. And look, there's the backpack connection falling off of the back itself. It disconnected from the back. No wonder you were on the back shelf. No wonder. And then you have to place the head back in there. So it is more or less hidden. Now, with your boy being in full cowl mode, which is just what I'm calling it, I don't know if that's in the manual, your arms now have incredibly limited movement. Like, I don't know what you would want to do with that. The arm barely sticks out. Everything likes to hide the head. You only know the head is there by having this very loose crest on here. And even that I feel like is going to fall off again. And there we go. The thing. Now, I sound really disappointed because I am now. As I am known as the professional stage ninja, ninjas are my aesthetic. And that giant windmill shuriken was just like, that's a selling point. That's a gimme. Give it to me right now. But this includes information from the manual just to sell you a beam effect set. I think the movie for this came out almost a year after this model did. Like, I had the model before the movie ever came out. And then it's fine until you start interacting with this. Everything seems to hold up. You know, the colors may or may not be your thing. That's whatever. The gold is your usual injection plastic. But once you begin to interact with the windmill shuriken part of it, as a backpack, it's an atrocity. The backpack adapter, like the connection into the back itself, is terribly loose. This headpiece is terribly loose, and you have to remove the head in order to put it on as a cowl. The cowl is obstructive. I mean, sure, that's what it should do, but then what do you do with it once it's got the cowl on? What can you do with it? There's no option. There's no gun. Putting this in its hand is kind of like, I'm gonna twill. This design as a weapon is bad. Like, this should be more of an attacking thing than as a whip. And then you have to bend an effect part. Now, I know a lot of people out there do that, but that's a personal choice, not a mandate in order for something to not look silly. And even then, I think this tip right here, this piece, that should be gray. It gives you a beam saber effect part on the runner, a runner just for this. And does it tell you that you have a beam saber handle? That makes no mention of putting the scroll thingy into the mouth at all, or that the jaw moves. It had my attention. What's that mean? Yo, y'all had me in the first half, though. So, we are going to rate this as a back row. Once again, if ninjas are your aesthetic, there are only so many ninja mobile suits that exist. This is among them, and probably this is the only high-grade ninja mobile suit that's outside of age. I think that not that there's anything wrong with age, but you can't really consider the Spallo a ninja. Tangents aside, this is back row. If you really get this, I ended up disappointed with it. It was cool. I was hyped when it was announced. I was hyped looking at it, and then you get it in the hand, and it's kind of a letdown. But I thank y'all for watching. Thank you for listening to my rambling. And as always, ZEON.